All right, guys, welcome back to another Touchline Podcast, episode 81. Before we get started, hit the like button, subscribe, and comment down below. It was a good week for us, boys. We went to the Bulldogs game at Gosford and also went to Campbelltown for the Tigers-Raiders game. So, good, productive weekend for us. We got a loss for the Bulldogs, but in a way, we got a win. Tigers won. We're all happy about that.
Driving in the rain to Gosford.
That was very sloppy, that weather, man.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was
and on top of the loss, it made it worse.
Yeah, like
actually
didn't make the drive worth it, but
anything for the dogs.
Anything for the dogs.
Anything for the Bulldogs, we're always there for them.
Yeah, we went to I felt like I was living at the stadiums.
Yeah, in a way,
because we went to the Dogs game, and then as you said, the next day went to
Campbelltown Sports Ground. Yeah,
it's a nice stadium. It's actually nice.
I actually liked that stadium. First time going there.
It's a beautiful stadium.
The crowd was crazy.
The crowd was nice.
Tigers fans, they're so passionate.
Yeah,
down in Campbelltown as well.
And it was great to see Tigers win.
Yeah, I'm glad they won. So
it was a very good match, and again, that stadium, I really loved it. Like the community and. You know,
you're close to the field.
You're close to the field. Even when you walked in, it was a nice, setting around it. So yeah, it was.
And what made it better is as soon as you get off the motorway, the M5.
Yeah, exactly.
The stadium's right in front of you.
Exactly, and how we parked as well, which is really close.
That was a plus
2-minute walk.
That was a plus for
you. That's the last two videos we found a park and.
I know, instantly like within a minute.
What's bringing this?
I think it's just good luck.
What's bringing it?
No idea, man. I really don't know.
Maybe it's the kicking chicken.
Maybe the kicking chicken. Now we saw that at Central Coast.
Well, look, boys, let's get started with league talk.
Scored in the corner.
Look, not a lot to talk about today. First of all, we're going to go through.
We legit have only one news story.
So
it's a very short league talk.
So we're going to be focusing more on Wrestle Talk today. There's been a lot happening in the WWE world. But, boys, round 17 tips. We'll go through them.
First of all, the guest for this week for round 17 is Hectic Fred.
Shout out
to Freddie.
His content, man, is amazing.
I haven't seen him in months, man.
The last time we went to a game was when the Cronulla game. And then you were like, he put you on your TikTok. You went off your head.
Yeah.
That was funny. That was the last time.
Such an iconic.
We need to make sure we go watch a game with him.
We have to. Yeah. I think the last time he was with us,
we saw him at Belmore.
No, that was at Belmore Sports. Yeah,
but the last time we watched a game with him was the Cronulla game.
That's right.
What was he saying at the game again?
No, Emilio was with us that time.
Emilio was with us.
What
were you saying about?
I can't remember what I said. I think it was
it's my.
That was bad. I don't want to go there.
We'll replay the clip.
Do you regret it?
Yeah, of course I do.
You're more professional now.
I'm trying to get into that.
Matured, grown up.
Anyways, let's get into the tips. Our first game is
the Bulldogs. Yeah, so Bulldogs versus Cronulla Sharks Friday night.
Who you going, Anthony?
I'm sticking with the Bulldogs. After they lost against Roosters, I know it was a gutsy loss in that rainy condition. But I think they'll bounce back. So I think they should win comfortable, Bulldogs.
Yeah, Bulldogs. I'm a big win, 13+ Bulldogs. I think we'll bounce back. That it was a rainy weather. It's very hard. And the way we played was, pretty poor in those conditions, making too many mistakes. But I think with Crichton, hopefully, to be back in that squad, I think we're going to put a big win on them.
Yeah, you know what, Shabo? Just pull me 13+ as well.
Yeah, okay, Bill.
You could say that.
Anyways, go, Bill.
Bulldogs, definitely. We were undefeated at home, coming off a bad defeat last week. I think we'll bounce back.
Yeah, I agree with the same what you guys have been saying. And Hectic Fred, of course, is going for Bulldogs.
Okay,
next game, New Zealand Warriors versus Brisbane Broncos.
This is going to be close. Warriors got smashed 66-6 against the Titans. That's something they're going to be, always on the back of their minds. And especially when they verse Titans next time, it's going to affect them. But on this game, I don't know. I see Broncos. They need a win. They're due a win, and I'm going Broncos 1-12.
Yeah, I'm going Broncos as well. Sean Johnson is out. Yeah. He's apparently out for the next month. Again, Walsh and Carrigan and Haas have been on the reserve, so far they won't be playing this week. But again, I think they're in a position where they need a win, and those players will be wanting to play and get Broncos the 2 points. So yeah, I'm going Broncos.
Yeah,
yeah, you go. No, you go first. No, you go first.
No, it's all good.
Just go for it.
No, you go for it.
Okay. After that defeat against, how Warriors lost, I think they're going to motivate themselves to push themselves harder. So I think Warriors will win at home game. So without Sean Johnson, I think they'll push back.
Yeah, even though SJ's not there, I'll put me Warriors.
Okay, and Fred's gone Warriors as well.
Okay.
Next game, Knights and Parramatta Eels. I'm going Knights. Yeah, I think just at home, Knights haven't been on the best. Knights haven't been on the best form as well. Parramatta have been on a pretty bad form as well. I don't know. I've just got a feeling Knights at home and just Power going to just keep on losing, to be honest, man. That's how I feel.
Yeah, there's a lot of very close games this week. I'm going Knights as well. I think Parramatta with Trent Barrett. The only reason why, because Trent Barrett's coaching, when he's coaching teams, they do bad.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for him, but Knights, Sharp's doing good at fullback. He's replaced Armstrong for no reason really, but he's come in, he's doing a great job, and I think Knights will get the win, especially at home. So yeah, I'll go Knights.
I'm sticking with Newcastle Knights, 13 plus.
Okay.
They're going to win comfortable.
Okay.
Parramatta's not going to do anything, so
Bill?
That don't matter.
Yeah, I'm going to go Knights.
Knights as well, and Fred surprisingly has chosen Parramatta Eels.
Okay.
So he's chosen
I'd like to know
Parramatta.
the reasoning.
Yeah, he didn't really
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
He just
said 1 to 12, I think.
Next
Especially
game.
with Moses out.
Yeah.
next game we got Melbourne versus Canberra Raiders.
Raiders always cause an upset there. I remember
Amy Park,
they
yeah.
did it in the semi-finals, preliminary finals a few years back.
Raiders in bad form.
Raiders in
They
bad
are
form. Melbourne,
shocking.
they're doing better. Melbourne. Pappenhausen's back from last week. Yeah, I'll go Melbourne at home.
I'm sticking with Melbourne, 13 plus game as well.
I think it'll be a big scoreline.
Yeah, Melbourne. In fact, 98% to 2%.
Wow,
Wow.
that says it all.
And Fred also chose Melbourne.
Okay.
Next
Next
game is
game
Dragons.
we got Dragons versus Dolphins.
I think Dragons, what I've noticed from them is when they lose the game, they'll bounce back the next week. So that's the reason why I've chosen Dragons at home. It's going to be a big task against Dolphins, man, who just got a big win against Sharks. So it's not going to be easy. It could easily be Dolphins winning the game, but I think Dragons will edge this one.
Look, there's rumors. Joey was telling me about. He messaged on the chat. He goes, Ben Hart wants to stay now, extend his contract. So there's a good vibe around Dragons right now.
Even
They're
Flanagan
believing
as
in
well.
the system.
Yeah.
What Shane Flanagan's doing. I'll go Dragons win at home.
Well, since how you're saying like there's good vibes in the club as well, they already just
Signed
signed
Damien Cook.
Damien Cook
Exactly,
as well,
yeah.
2-year contract.
Yeah,
Very good deal.
That's a very good signing
That's
for
a
him.
big sign.
You know, I think he's going to help the team.
We'll change
and,
them up a lot.
yeah,
Who'd you tip?
I'll pick Dragons as well.
Yeah,
Dragons.
there's a good
So-
vibe around the club
Of
right now.
course.
Bill?
I'm going Dolphins.
Okay, Bill's
Okay,
going
Bill's going
to steal
Dolphins.
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
good tip.
And Fred's going Dragons as well.
Next game we got Penrith versus Cowboys. I think Penrith
Yeah,
home game.
Panthers.
I think Penrith is going to
Pretty
win
simple.
comfortable.
Yeah.
13 plus as well.
And Fred also Penrith. Last game, Roosters Tigers.
Tigers, yeah.
Look, Tigers, when we're speaking to Hainsey, he goes, Tigers are their bogey team. They always seem to struggle against them, but
yeah.
their attack looks too strong. Tigers are on the run, back-to-back wins. They're looking good again, but we saw this early in the season where they got 2 wins in a row and then they started to fall off and they went on a 9 losing streak. So
Yeah.
I'm on Roosters. Roosters 13 plus.
Yeah, I'm sticking
Tigers
with
will put a good fight, as
Yeah.
always. But yeah, I think Roosters at home, beating Dogs. They're back on a winning streak, and yeah, I think Roosters will win.
Yeah, I think Roosters as well. Roosters 13 plus.
Bro, like it's just they're very inconsistent, the Tigers.
Yeah.
They can never just win consistently. That's why I'm picking Roosters.
Yeah,
And also Fred's going for Roosters.
All right,
Yes,
boys,
sweet.
that's a wrap up to the round 17 tips. Know who you got this week because, of course, Origin's tomorrow.
Like, Origin already happened.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Basically.
Sorry,
Yeah,
tomorrow,
basically
yeah,
it
I know.
happened.
No, it happened yesterday.
Happened, yeah. But yeah, because it's...
Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
I'm dropping this Thursday.
Yeah, I know.
So check out who you got on our Instagram. If you haven't followed that, make sure you follow it.
Guys, I hope you're enjoying the podcast so far. We've teamed up with Sports Heads.
They're a great company that cut up faces of NRL players across the league. You might have seen them at stadiums. They're the big heads that fans hold up in the air.
Make sure you use the discount code TLP10.
Buy one and you'll get 10% off.
Back to the pod. But boys, I'm sure you've all heard the news about those Bulldogs fans turning on the players. Apparently, 2 players deactivated their Instagram account. One of them, I'm pretty sure, being Josh Curran, but apparently he wasn't the one that was being abused. Probably Hutchinson was one of them. So yeah, what is your thoughts about all this? Bulldogs have built such a strong foundation this year. They're playing good, great attacking, great defensive team, but one loss and already the fans go against them. Well, so-called fans. So yeah,
for me, they're not fans.
Yeah.
They're not fans. You're not a fan if you're disrespecting the players like that.
Weren't we booing the team last
but
week?
I feel that was justified with the
From-
performances and how they
every
were
week.
playing.
Well,
like this is a different scenario where we've been playing so
Doing
good
good,
this
yeah.
year, and after one game,
Yeah,
Curran,
yeah,
that's been
yeah,
his worst performance by far this year. And after just 4 mistakes, it was a bad one. But still, you don't just hate someone for making
Yeah, that's
mistakes.
It just happens. Like, all right, maybe it wasn't in the game. Like, all right, because of the weather condition that happened. All right, things happen for a reason, but you just don't go on social media, going on the players' account and messaging and saying
them and all that.
saying dumb words and that. Like, that's just complete nonsense. Like, it's not right.
right,
That is just so wrong. Like, you're just disrespecting that person. Like, that's been playing so good the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And now you just want to put all the like the bad stuff into him. Like, come on, man,
Like
wake
this
up.
could either really affect Cohen now in the next few weeks, or this could really motivate him. So we're gonna see in the next few games how Cohen has reacted upon this, and even Hutchinson for the reserve grade when he plays there.
I honestly feel Curran's going to bounce back from this. I think he's going to... We all know what Curran's capable of, and that was just an off game. I don't know where his head wasn't screwed on right. The way he was playing was very, very bad. He needed to get off, but it doesn't make me forget about everything he's done this season. He has been an outstanding player for us, one of the best buys for us, you know, along with Crichton. And for those fans who think it's right to, you know, say these things to these players who are putting their heart on the line for the club, you know, with everything that's going with the club now, there's positive, you know, vibes. Why bring negativity to the club? You know, that was last year. That's last year. But this is a new year, and there's no right, like in any situation, there's no right to be, you know, threatening a player or sending him bad messages. It's just not right. As a normal human being, we shouldn't be doing that.
It is very disrespectful, especially since this player just came into the Bulldogs this year.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you want him to love the Bulldogs, love the fans. Exactly. And if you have these little 12-year-olds, I reckon they're 12-year-olds. Like, surely.
We don't know who it is.
Surely they're kids messaging, you know, Curran or whoever it was. If it wasn't Curran, someone else did. Because, bro, like, no normal person with common sense would, you know, send hate to a player, especially since he only had one bad game, man. As you said, he's put his heart on his sleeve week in and week out. We're in the 8. We haven't been in the 8 for how long? Yeah. You know, for fans like that to come out on social media and say what they've said to these players and, you know, make them deactivate their accounts. It's not called for, man. Like they shouldn't be, you know, having to deactivate their accounts. Yeah. Like, look, who are we to speak? Like, I know you boys will differ. Maybe do I regret, you know, last year booing the doggies into the sheds? Maybe slightly. I don't know if you boys agree. Maybe I slightly agree. Yeah. Because, bro, like when you really think about it, they are putting their, you know, their heart on their sleeves each week. They're really trying their best. And even at that stage last year, like for me personally, who am I to say how hard someone has been working, has been training? You know, like I don't see behind the scenes. So that's why, like with this news coming out, really. Like, it's changed my perspective on, like, what I've said previously about that Knights game where we booed you know, that team into the shed. So that's how I see it, like, nowadays. Like, I kind of regret it in that way. But no player should be, you know, receiving that kind of hate because at the end of the day, this is their job.
It's just wrong. Like, don't forget, because if they're doing these type of stuff right now, like, they're putting themselves at harm as well because something happens later on. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
You know, then their account's probably going to be deactivated too or reported because sending abusive like things to players like that's just dumb. Like, come on, wake up to yourself. Just don't abuse players. Let them do their job. They're getting paid. They're doing the right thing for the club as well, and they're repaying the club back because we've had that drought for 8 years straight. Yeah. You know, we suffered a lot, and we don't want to go through that stage. It just happens.
Yeah.
It just happens. The weather condition on Saturday night was very horrible.
Yeah. Like, it's just one of those games. That's a game, honestly, that I just want to forget because that 100%. Was... It's a Bulldogs team we haven't seen this year.
Yeah.
But again, the weather conditions was the problem. And just we move on to Sharks fresh. The team will be joined back together and we just...
And look, like by the time October comes, we'll win that premiership and then they'll be cheering, man. These are the fans that show up, you know, once in a blue moon to support the Bulldogs, man. I don't think they're true fans. Yeah. But in saying that, our podcast pro for this week, we do this every week where we raise a question and we talk about it. So in saying that, are fans allowed to speak their mind? We've just covered this now. Yeah. But just in general, are fans allowed to speak out on social media?
I reckon in the right way, but not messaging the way fans have been messaging Bulldogs players. But if it's about any debate topic, that fans have the right have the right to speak, just like NRL experts, Andrew Johns, all these sort of experts, they have their say, and we have the right to have our say.
I reckon when it comes to like constructive criticism, that's completely fine. You know, it's a sport at the end of the day. If you're not doing your job, NRL experts, fans are gonna, you know, be on Instagram writing their comments down, trying to, you know, get their point across. Oh, this player's not doing bad, or, you know, drop him. It's a normal thing of sport, and in any real life situation, if you're not doing your job or if you're supposed to get criticized, you will get criticized. So I think fans speaking out their minds, the right way is, I feel allowed. But if they're doing it in the wrong way, that's, again, affecting the players' well-being and all that, then that's a no-go.
Yeah, I agree. Even like how you all said it too, like, especially how people saying, like, whatever they want to say, but in the right matter, not saying dumb things on social media, like, on pages on Facebook as well. Everyone, like, when they're watching their games, they write something down on their posts, like, but there's some people, like, saying dumb things. They're going to get hatred, abusive, and, and it just carries on. Like, it just gets
Let
worse.
me tell you what it is, man. Sometimes when these fans lash out and whatnot, sometimes it's a reflection on their own lives, like.
That's right.
Like, I don't know, I can't speak for that fan from the Doggies, but, like, bro, like, if you're that bothered by someone just dropping the ball and having a bad game and you want to release your anger, bro, like, it's really an excuse in a way to release your anger.
Yeah.
So, look, do I agree? Should fans speak their mind? Look, we do that every week.
Yeah.
To a certain
We
extent.
always do it every week.
To a certain extent, they should speak their mind. But, yeah, just don't. There's a line when speaking your mind.
When Curran was knocking on the balls in the vlog, if you haven't checked that out, make sure you check it out. We got angry, like we were pissed off, hold the ball. But in the moment, it's fine. But we forgot about it after that.
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. You're still gonna see us screaming at games. If a play knocks on, someone concedes a penalty. I'm still going off my head.
Yeah.
But I'll leave it at the game.
That's
just
it,
the same way they say you leave it on the field, we leave it in the stands.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And this is what, like, players need, again, criticism, because this can make them a better player. It helps them improve in their game. Like, again, when there's moments in their games where they're playing good, they're performing, you praise them. Like we always do. When someone's not playing good, just like what Cohen did the other day, we're going to criticize him and say why the performance wasn't up to the standard.
What pisses me off more, see, just about the game, like, constructive criticism is good, but there's fans that actually DM players when they've missed out on their multis. I know I've missed out on my multis too. but they still take it outside the game. Like, they take their time.
Yeah.
They take their time out of their busy day, to go and message these players and say, you lost my multi. But that's not right.
So sad.
That is not right.
It's
like,
wrong.
they're not there to encourage your income to benefit you. They're just there to play footy. They're not there to benefit your multi, man.
Yeah,
like, bro, don't get me wrong. Again, like, you could make a lot of contradictions with us right now, like, speaking about this and like the multis and whatever. When we're going off on the multis, bro, that's it. I'm going off on the multis, but I'm not going off.
You don't hate him.
I don't hate him.
Yeah,
I'm
so
always gonna hate
yeah.
him. I'd hate him for fun, like on the vlogs or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
you know.
he didn't score.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna hate him past that game. Like, bro, it is what it is.
But
I didn't
they
get
push
it.
the limits. Like, that's what, when they do things like that, they're putting themselves, like how I said, in the worst position. But why would you do that?
Yeah.
Like, come on. You're a
Even
bloody
last
human.
year
They're
when-
humans as well.
Ockenball had that situation where
Exactly.
a few people messaged him
Yeah.
about his poor performances. And again, that's similar to what we're seeing currently at the Dogs about Curran and
It ruins them
I think Hutchinson.
mentally.
It does
Mentally,
they're humans
bro.
as well. They have feelings as well.
Mentally,
emotions.
bro, like it's draining, bro. Like, just all that negativity, like, then you start to question yourself, and it affects your game. It's just that there's that butterfly effect to it.
Like, we've had a lot of, it's usually we get people put bad comments and all that, and you just leave it alone. But sometimes it gets to a point where you can't leave it alone. Then that's what probably some of these players are going through. That it's gone to a point where, you know what, I got to deactivate this Instagram account, just
And
put my mind on the right
there
thing.
has been an instance where, I don't want to name this player, but someone shared this story about one of the players back, we're talking like a few years ago, getting criticism online, and he went through a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know who I'm talking about, and the
think I do,
story
yeah,
I'm trying to,
I think I do.
one of the players,
Yeah.
but went through a lot because of this.
Yeah, I know,
Because of this negativity.
And look, rugby league or any sport can be a good world, but it can be a cruel world, and that's what happens when you put yourself into it. And yeah, look, it is what it is. I hope I think it is Josh Curran and Drew Hutchinson. So all the best for you guys. I hope that you get well, and you come back Friday night and get us the win, because you guys have been doing fantastic.
Yeah,
this
bro.
year.
It's just, yeah, man. Like, I've said a few things about Hutchison myself. You
Yeah.
can go to many vlogs and see it.
Yeah.
Maybe I push the limits sometimes, and that's why now I'm starting to self-reflect, bro. These guys are just players.
They're players, yeah. And
They are.
look, all the best to those to those boys, and hopefully they do a sprout on Friday. But let's move on to some Wrestle Talk now. Let's recap a bit of last week on Raw, because we didn't get to speak about it.
Yeah.
Alpha Academy finally have ended. Chad Gable is on his own now. Otis and Maxi and then Tozawa.
Yeah, Akira Tozawa,
They've all gone. So, yeah, it's about time, they've departed ways. But, yeah, what next for Chad Gable?
I think he's going to line with the Creed brothers because I can see
They
that
came
was
today. They
looked
came
like
today.
sort of a confirmed.
like a hint.
It's
Yeah,
not fully. It's like 50% maybe
yeah.
because Creed brothers. I think Chad Gable got again rejected by the Alpha Academy with
tonight.
Otis. You know the Alpha Academy,
Yeah.
and the Creed brothers followed in and came to him. So that's an option because he did say he needs help.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, and he mentioned last week about he wants the world title. Do I think he'll get the world title? No, because there's a lot of candidates for that. You got Gunther, you got Drew McIntyre,
Seth Rollins as well.
Seth Rollins, who's in the picture now.
I don't
so-
even mind if he wins the Money in the Bank, Gable.
Yeah, it would be.
I
Gable?
think he deserves it. And
Yeah.
again, him not winning the Intercontinental really.
Yeah.
A few fans were like, what's it called?
Weren't happy about it.
Weren't happy about that situation, and him getting that Money in the Bank can do him wonders.
So he won that today, didn't he? The Money in the Bank.
The
qualification,
qualification,
yeah, he
that's
did,
what I
yeah.
feel.
Because he's worked so hard and
Yeah.
he's deserved a big moment. This is a moment where I'm a J fan. I think he deserves it, but I wouldn't be upset if he won as well.
He could be
Yeah.
the underdog in the in the card. So
Big chance.
it'll probably give him an opportunity to win that Money in the Bank because I don't know if you remember, like, you know, when Kurt Angle, when he was young, when he first came into WWF,
Yeah.
back in the days, back in '99, I think, everyone criticized him, everyone doubted him. He can't be a champion because he won the gold medal back in the Olympic days. He became the Intercontinental champion, and then he became the World Wrestling Federation champion back in the days too.
Yeah.
But I think this is going to motivate him because it reminds you of that character of Chad Gable. So
Chad Gable's, I feel he's closer than he thinks. I
Yes.
think he'll get his chance of becoming world champion.
but not yet. But I
Not
think
yet.
not yet.
You reckon becomes world champion?
Not yet.
Not yet. I reckon the
feel
IC title
there'll
first. I reckon
I
the
feel
IC.
there'll be a part in his career where he gets it.
Yeah, they will later
Yeah,
on.
that's
down
what
the
I
track.
think. Yeah, yeah.
But like putting the bank Money in the Bank briefcase on him, I don't think it suits
Yeah, I
him.
think
it doesn't suit him yet.
For storyline reasons, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But who's going to challenge Damian Priest or whoever's got
can't.
the
Most
belt?
likely be the world title.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
It
But
won't
like he
be.
can wait a year, just like Damian Priest did, and then cash it in at the right time.
yeah, but I feel like he needs to go through. I like his character.
Yeah,
I
his
do.
character's
I do
very-
like his character, but
He's a
I don't
great
know.
heel.
I don't know if it's a good fit.
Maybe it
I'd
won't.
like him IC champion first,
Yeah, I think that's what he wants again.
and I don't think he needs the briefcase for that. Like,
Yeah.
He'd get it without it.
he'd get it
Because
without
Bron
it.
Breakker is the next candidate for that belt. And I
Yeah.
think there's even Bronson Reed has a shot. And there's other few players on the list. But Uncle Howdy, he also returned
Well-
last week on Raw. That was one of the best returns in WWE
Yeah,
history.
that was-
I think
that
that's-
promo
yeah,
was
yeah.
unbelievable.
Or
man.
debut, you can call it
Debut,
debut.
you can
Yeah.
call it debut.
The
Yeah,
white,
it
the
is.
white,
The
sick.
white six.
white
That's
six.
the
It's
good-
not six, it's sick.
Sick,
yes.
yeah.
Oh, sick.
And then also with that, tonight on Monday Night Raw, they had Uncle Howdy, Bo Dallas, talking to Bo Dallas about his
Yeah.
brother's
That was
death
good,
and all
man.
that. That was
Yeah,
mate,
yeah.
That was
crazy.
so good.
Did you notice he was in the Firefly Funhouse doing that interview?
I didn't actually realize that.
That's he was.
I
he
didn't
was-
know this.
He was
the whole
in
time.
the Firefly Funhouse
Ah.
talking to
Uncle
Uncle Howdy.
And
Oh,
that's
wow.
why all the characters that when they all came back together, because I knew who they were. Eric Rowan, you had
Dexter
Nikki Cross, Dexter Loomis, and then you got Joe from NXT as well. That's why they built the whole.
This is
It looks different,
This is
but it
make
looks-
it. This is make it or break it for these
Yeah.
superstars because this is really their last chance.
Last chance, yeah.
Like
Yes.
to be honest, but
But
like, see what
but
happens.
don't
It's a
forget-
great debut.
Yeah.
But
Do you think they're
Oh, man.
focusing on Gable?
yeah,
'Cause he's
first,
been
yeah,
there
yeah,
too.
because
yeah,
he was
yeah.
the first.
He was the
Yeah,
first
Did you
one
see
because you saw it by
the
the scene.
VHS tape?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was-
When they
that
gave
was
it to Michael Cole.
How like weird was it when he's like, "Hey kids, this is what a VHS
Yeah,
tape I
like
got."
if you don't-
It's
you don't
like
know, yeah.
unk status.
Yeah.
Someone's
Yeah,
like, "This
yeah.
is unk status."
And if they're gonna focus on Chad Gable, I reckon already that pulls him out of the Money in the Bank, like winning it,
Yeah.
or
True.
even a title because they're gonna be interrupting, affecting him. So I
Yeah.
reckon that already pulls him out of both those. You know, the Intercontinental Champion and
Yeah.
the Money in the
But
Bank.
what do they want? Why sick? Why are they targeting Gable?
That's what I'm saying.
Are they targeting him because like is it, like
I would've
you notice in their debut there was Gable
Yeah.
he was on the floor.
presumably dead,
Apparently, there was a few others in the back.
and there was a few. Who was it? Piled up.
I couldn't see it like
it was-
by
today,
the
the
spotlight.
wall.
Where when Eric Warren had the
Yeah, when
the
he had- he
hammer,
said
there was
help,
people,
yeah.
there was superstars in that pile.
We
But
couldn't see it by the.
yeah, you couldn't really see.
yeah.
But the whole idea, I saw
Yeah.
a theory online saying they're targeting superstars that betrayed their family.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So it's about family. So
Okay.
they're
Wow.
either face or they're heel.
Yeah, so
The White's sick.
it hasn't been. So it's not really revealed yet. What
It hasn't.
not really revealed.
It hasn't.
We'll see in the
Because
next
them
couple of
killing
weeks.
Gable,
He's returned.
it's
on
like
their family.
a face will do that.
Yeah,
Like he's a target now.
and
Like
he's
I would say.
again, he came out on Raw today saying, "I made a mistake. I'm sorry."
Yeah.
But they rejected it. So
Yeah.
yeah, it probably is maybe the reason.
Yeah.
Why? So then, who would be next? I reckon maybe one of the Judgment Day families, because one of them are bound to exit.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Balor for sure.
You
I think
reckon?
because he's now won the World Tag Team titles with
You can
JD.
bring like the demon Finn Balor.
Yeah, the demon comes back. But
But what do you
like,
mean? Wasn't a? I reckon it'd be Priest.
I was
But-
gonna say
Yeah,
that.
there's no,
Because
because
they said a
Rollins.
new
'Cause
stipulation.
yeah, yeah.
We'll get into that.
yeah, we'll get into that. But I'm
Right.
saying because about the Wyatts, Braun Strowman, like he'll probably go back with the Wyatts because he was the original character as well as the Black
yeah,
Sheep.
yeah.
So
They got something good going on, man. Every time they
Yeah.
just that eerie, the Bray Wyatt when
Yeah.
the when the lights shut.
So
like,
good, bro.
And I
It's
like
just-
the nice theme song.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
so
it is.
good.
But Eric Rowan as well. But I can't wait for him to
I want
return back.
see his face.
He's actually
He's-
facing.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, he's been there, but that again, it's about revealing the face.
Exactly.
And once
Can't
you see
wait
him, it's gonna be
till-
crazy.
They're all in the ring talking to the fans and
Yeah.
what the storyline's gonna bring. So yeah, it's gonna be good in the next couple of months. But also Bron Breakker, as I mentioned before, he's the next contender for Sami Zayn's belt.
Yeah.
Do you think it's about time that he gets his chance and wins that belt and Sami Zayn loses it? How do you see this panning out?
Look, like this was a shock. Okay. I think, to be honest, for Bron Breakker, like getting into the title line against Sami Zayn, I wasn't sure about it because there's a lot, like how we mentioned about a lot of wrestlers are gunning for the IC title, like Bronson Reed and
Who did he verse last week for it?
um,
Challenged it, so the winner gets.
no,
that
they had the
chance.
segment with Sheamus and Sami
Yeah,
Zayn.
oh,
in
he
the
was
ring.
versing Sheamus. That's
Yeah,
it.
he was versing
Sheamus.
Sheamus.
Yeah, and then
And did you
Kaiser
see when?
interviewed.
Yeah, you see when that big
today,
spear?
Yeah.
That was nuts, man.
Yeah,
Everyone was going
with
nuts
Bronson
about that.
Reed,
Yeah.
I'm not Bronson Reed, Bron Breakker.
Bron Breakker, yeah.
I don't know about this. I feel of course, this one's very 50-50. I feel Sami's title reign could end.
Yeah.
He wins it, or I feel his dominance will be put on hold and Sami Zayn retains the belt. So I don't really know how this one's gonna go.
Yeah, it's very tricky, but like putting Bron Breakker up because I know he's still young. I think he's like 29 or 28
he's
years
young
old.
still, yeah.
I don't know. He might win the title, but if Sami Zayn lose that IC title, he might maybe go into the Money in the Bank. Maybe he'll squeeze. Maybe someone.
Yeah.
You just don't know what happened. Like you just don't know what to expect. Because you have to understand about the record. You know how when Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, when they won the tag team titles, and then he won the IC title in Mania this year.
Okay.
So maybe next year he maybe go for the world title
Like,
because
you
Sami Zayn said he wants to go for the world title
Like
one
you look
day.
at it, Kaiser
Yeah.
is having a few problems with Bron Breakker. Again, especially last week when he attacked him. Now
That
he
big
got his
spear,
revenge. For me, look, Bron Breakker will one day get his shot. I just don't think now's the best chance, the best opportunity for him to win it. I just feel if you want someone to take over and win over Sami Zayn, it has to be someone he's had a little rivalry with or they've been working hard. For me, I think Kaiser might deserve it. Because Kaiser's been a wrestler where he hasn't been in the business for the last couple of weeks. He's came back the last 2 weeks. But I don't know. I just feel Kaiser would be a better champion for now than Bron Breakker. I just feel Kaiser is a very underrated wrestler. He's got a decent promo skill. And if he was to win that belt, who knows what it can really produce.
What's it called? The other member of Imperium who left.
Giovanni
Giovanni,
Givinci,
yeah, something like that. Yeah,
yeah.
he still hasn't came back, so he could get involved and cost him a title match or whatever it's gonna happen. But now let's talk about Liv Morgan. Again, this storyline keeps on getting better and better. This week on Monday Night Raw, actually tonight, Tuesday night, is she trying to squeeze? We know she's trying to take what Rhea Ripley has. Do you see a picture where she actually joins the Judgment Day? Because already at the end of Monday Night Raw, Finn Balor and JD won the belts.
Yeah.
And then they held the belts and they didn't really care that she was with them. And then she held her belt too. So is there something there that she might squeeze in?
It could happen. I just feel maybe Damian Priest might not allow that to happen. Just because they're not just going to forget about Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
And
She's
I know it's a
there
storyline.
to take it all.
Of course, but
Liv Morgan.
there has to be a way for her to be in the Judgment Day.
I feel it would be good if she does. Because
Yeah, of course it would.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, how is she going to get in where, again, Damian Priest right now is in charge? Is he just going to forget about Ripley and just let her go in?
Well, look at Damien with Carlito. Now he's sort of gone easy on him. He's letting him hang out with the boys and all that. And I think it could be the same with, you know,
this is a different situation.
I know it's different, but I feel he'll soften up and she'll come in, not be, you know, he'll say, yeah, you're in the Judgment Day. Indirectly, she'll be in the Judgment Day, you know, and it comes to a moment, let's say, whenever Rhea returns, let's say Damien just won his match for and retains the belt, they'll all be in the ring and then Rhea Ripley comes out.
So we can see...
And then she'll attack her.
Yeah,
I genuinely
and
think
she becomes a
Priest-
babyface.
I genuinely think Priest leaves.
I think
Bro,
it will. 'Cause
I
it
think
looks
so
like
too.
Rollins going to win
I
the world
reckon
title.
this is their way of
Ending the whole...
ending the Judgment Day with Priest.
Yeah, because
I think Rhea Ripley will leave.
Because I think they want to build him into a solo character.
career.
Of
Yeah,
Because
course.
I think if Liv Morgan somehow joins the Judgment Day,
Rhea
I
Ripley
don't
will
see
get
Rhea
angry,
Ripley
yeah.
staying.
Yeah.
I think she'll leave.
The Judgment Day will break up.
Will break
I
up.
think
very
they'll
soon.
all break
Very
up
soon.
altogether.
So I think Liv Morgan will be the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
that would
so.
play a big impact on Dominic's career because Alson Chabel, you don't see him as Rey Mysterio's son anymore.
Bro, I just thought about something.
What
What if Liv Morgan... The Judgment Day is ending, yeah?
Yeah, it
But
is.
what if she's there to take it all?
Yeah,
And
Like,
Take
end
it all.
Like end
Like
it.
end it.
She's
End
the
Rhea
reason.
Ripley's group.
Yeah, that could be it.
Yeah, that could happen as
That's
well.
another one.
Because that's when Rhea Ripley comes back after when she returns from the injury. She's going to attack
So
her.
that's actually
She'll
a
be a
good one.
babyface regardless. So
I genuinely think Morgan's there to end it all.
I
Yeah.
think
Take
so.
it all.
I can
She's
see it.
She's
I can
always
see
said,
it.
I'm here to take it all.
Yeah.
She's
Yeah.
taking Dom. If she goes into the Judgment Day, she'll end the Judgment Day, and then they'll build the feud for...
Already
And she
Finn-
has a short
already-
revenge tour, so that means you
Already
can see a
Finn
glimpse
Balor
of
and
it, yeah.
JD's already eased on her. Like they
Yeah.
like her.
They
They
won
want
the
her in the
belt.
And
group,
they're tag champs, so they're
that's-
drifting
she's
off.
already getting
There's already a bit of a drift in the...
But
in
you
the
can
group.
see Damian Priest as well. I can see the glimpse of it, like he's going back to the babyface
And he-
as well.
Yeah, and on that he mentioned about, you know, they need me more than I need them.
Yeah.
So that's already hinting that WWE want him slowly to drift away from him. They might turn on him and kick him out.
Because I think Damian Priest, when he first started with Bad Bunny, he was good, but I feel with being in a Judgment Day, he's really developed. And I think him as a what's it called, just a single wrestler, a solo wrestler,
Yeah.
he can really do a lot of
Now he
damage.
can do a lot. After when he won the US
He's
title,
improved a lot.
Did you remember the SummerSlam back in the COVID days when he defeated Sheamus for the US
Yeah,
title?
yeah.
So that's when, after when he won the title, everyone started to go like against him a bit because that's when the character started building up.
Building, yeah.
When Judgment Day formed, when
Started
Edge,
to become
when
heel, yeah.
Edge was there. But then when Edge left, that's when Balor kicked him out, and they
It'll be
so-
interesting to see what happens to every Judgment Day member and how their storyline will plan out. Like especially Dominic Mysterio.
That's what I was about to say with Dominic Mysterio. I think he's going to be like the Eddie Guerrero character back in SmackDown days. So if they bring him back to SmackDown, they should develop his character the way.
Look, it's good that now there's so many storylines that are just like smashing. Before we just had the bloodline really, but there's great storylines scattered all around. Another great storyline, Drew McIntyre. He hasn't quit. He's back into the WWE. He attacked CM Punk on Friday Night SmackDown. And, you know, he's got his revenge. So, again, that storyline's, you know, building nicely. And now CM Punk will be out for a bit now. So, yeah, how are you seeing that with Drew McIntyre, how he's developing? And you can see he's had enough.
Yeah, well, he's had enough because he had the world title in his hands. Like, I know he was close to win, but CM Punk interfered. So, I think Drew McIntyre had the right to do whatever he can to get that revenge to CM Punk, because you remember what happened at
Did it in his
WrestleMania?
hometown.
Yeah.
Exactly, in Glasgow, Scotland. So
No, he did it. McIntyre did it
attacks him, like
Chicago.
at his home
in
game.
Chicago.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
And even like Mania as well, when he won the world title for 5 minutes.
It's getting personal, man.
It's
Yeah, it
actually
is.
getting
It really-
real. I
yeah.
can't wait for that
They
storyline.
ha-
That's
they
going
hate
to
it.
be epic,
And-
that one.
It'll be SummerSlam, I think they'll verse.
Yeah.
I think so,
Yeah, and
yeah.
I feel the Seth and CM Punk might not be, because they're going to face off one day soon, Seth and CM Punk. I don't think they do better than what's happening here with CM Punk Drew.
But you wouldn't know really because
Wouldn't know, but I
they
feel
didn't really.
they
Because
haven't
that's
really-
just because that's because you've seen the Drew.
Yeah, that's right. But I feel with Drew, like, as he's grown and his mic skills, I feel that's what's making it 10 times better because of, you know, the person he's become, and they're giving him more freedom to be who, but giving them actually both freedom, because you can see they're chucking in words, you know, personal, you know, when CM Punk mentioned about Drew's wife. So there's all these things that are, you know, going around.
Like on today's Raw or tonight's Raw or whatever, yesterday's Raw when this video dropped. Anyways, so you saw the bracelet he had.
Yeah.
It's like how it's getting personal and
Yeah.
stuff, and
Yeah,
saying,
yeah,
"I'm gonna win it with this bracelet on in the at Money in the Bank and stuff. So that's just the personal side to it that I like in this storyline. But do you think like they're writing off CM Punk, like from like scripting wise, because he's not fully medically cleared? Like, bro, this. It should have kickstarted this this feud already.
Yeah,
like, as in like his in-ring action. Like, is he out? Are they trying to injure him on screen because he's not ready?
He's still injured, is he?
He's still injured.
He'll be out for like storyline.
Like he didn't address it.
He hasn't addressed it.
So he was. If you watch the press conference, he said at Clash at the Castle, he's like, I'm gonna address. Hopefully, he's like, I don't know if I should be saying this, but I'm not gonna go to Raw, but I'm gonna go to SmackDown and hopefully address it.
He didn't address it.
But he didn't address it
because Paul Heyman came out.
So they're probably writing him off.
Yeah,
he won't make money in the bank.
Off TV because he's not medically cleared.
Maybe him getting attacked and being sent. That's the indicator.
Is their way? Yeah. So instead of saying I'm not medically cleared, fans will have a fit online. As if this and
so
that.
it's still from that Royal Rumble, isn't it?
Yeah, from Royal Rumble.
He hasn't fought after that.
Yeah,
which is weird because, like, I don't know, because he's had that injury at Royal Rumble and then he waited a bit. Then he took the casket off in WrestleMania, and then everyone thought he was back, but then he's still injured.
But
so
he said it from his own mouth.
Yeah.
He's like,
but
he said, like, I've got to get medically clear, and hopefully on SmackDown I'll announce it.
So he won't make money in the bank.
he hasn't said anything yet.
Yeah.
Later that show was unbelievable. Later that show, Jacob Fatu made his WWE.
I've said it for
The
months.
rumor man was
I'm the man of the word. I've said it for months.
It was coming, bro.
It was coming.
Wow, that was just unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
When I saw him, I
I
just said, wow, man, this guy's something else.
Yeah.
He's
so good.
He's so better than Solo and
Tama Tonga and
I don't
Tonga
like,
Loa.
I told you, I don't like the new blood.
Nah,
bloodline.
look,
I feel
so
they're
bad.
average.
No,
bad
it's not
wrestlers.
gonna be like as good as
It's
it
not
is.
gonna be-
No,
yeah.
I'm saying bloodline. I feel their character and how their wrestler, how they wrestle. I don't feel they're outstanding.
Solo's character is so boring.
Jacob
No,
Fox-
he's not the right character. But I'm saying for the tag team for Tama and Tonga Loa.
Yeah.
They are the future. I'm telling you because
feel that-
no, not for the bloodline, but they will leave that faction later. But I'm saying because when DIY wins that tag team titles against Grayson and Austin Theory, that's when Tama and Tonga they're going to take the title. But my point for Jacob Fatu, that was the best debut I haven't seen in a long time.
Nah, bro, you can't put that over the white.
No, I'm not saying the whites. No, whites out there first. Yeah, the
we had
whites.
2 great
100%.
debuts in 1 week.
Yeah,
was
the
great.
white,
That was a great
the white
one.
return and plus Jacob Fatu.
But
What about the frog splash from top of the road?
That was crazy.
That was so mad, man.
And from that anger, that view, the view they put it on, it was like,
Yeah.
And when you see the contact, you're like, bro, oof, how quick was he going on?
Yeah.
Like I saw the new bloodlines come in and
Yeah.
I wasn't surprised, but this guy, he's got such a big future in this company,
does.
man.
Yeah.
He's gonna have once bloodline finishes eventually, him individually, oh my gosh, he's gonna have such a great career storyline if they can get it right and spot on.
Yeah.
He can go places, bro. This guy,
Look,
he's so good.
I've watched tapes with Jacob Fatu because he was in a different promotion, MLW Wrestling, and he was the longest reigning world heavyweight title. So, like, he's been a champion twice.
Yeah.
And honestly, that was a very good signing from Triple H.
Yeah,
I've got to give good credit to Triple H, man.
Yeah, look,
100%.
unbelievable.
And this
signing.
bloke, I think this bloke's going to be a world champion. And speaking of Jacob Fatu, his merchandise went sold out on that same
Wow.
night.
Did it?
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. That's
Is
it.
it-
Future star in the
is-
making.
Future star,
Is
yeah.
there any more bloodline members you can tell us that are coming?
Rumor?
Do you have any contact?
Well,
with
they're saying that Hikuleo, Tama Tonga's brother, his older brother, he's coming.
Surely they end it right now.
But he's very tall.
No,
He's
I
like
think it's
7
getting
feet.
too much.
He's 7 foot tall.
Do you think
He's the
that-
tallest bloke.
So maybe that he
never know.
might
Taller than
be-
Braun
They're
Strowman.
trying to make
Yeah,
this
right.
new bloodline like unstoppable.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Like just
You know,
get boom,
I
boom,
feel
boom.
bringing him might be good. Like,
Yeah,
bringing a
Hikuleo.
giant in, like,
He's a giant.
Yeah.
to complete it. You
I-
know?
Now
I've been wa-
apparently
yeah.
Roman might be returning Money in the Bank. Because
Yeah.
apparently he was scheduled SummerSlam, but
Yeah.
apparently he could be returning earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I still
But-
think Jimmy should return Money in the Bank.
Of course.
And
yeah,
then
that's
Roman
gonna
and
happen.
Jimmy was,
SummerSlam.
yeah, he'll return.
It makes
Let's
it
talk
better.
about Money in the Bank next week when we
Yeah.
because I think Money in the Bank is
Next
next
week,
Sunday. So we'll
Can't wait for that,
we'll
man.
go
Yeah,
through
can't wait.
the match cards. But anyways, great talk for Wrestle Talk, boys, and Anthony and Bill will start with some combat.
Talk. All right, welcome back to another edition of Combat Talk. Firstly, I want to give a big shout out to Nate, the great Kelly, who won over the weekend in spectacular fashion in the first round via the armbar, bro. If you watched that fight, beautiful. It was clean as they come. Future superstar. I did a little reaction video on it. So yeah, you saw my reaction to that. I was going crazy at 2 a.m. in the morning, bro.
Oh my god,
it was great to see him win. Mad shout out to Nate Kelly, man. Big things to come. But in saying that, also, another thing that happened over the weekend, Robert Whittaker KO's Ikram Aliskerov, a Russian, over in Saudi Arabia in the fight night.
Yeah.
He did that in the first round. I think it was under a minute, was it?
1 minute and 49 seconds.
Minute 49 seconds, man.
And I can say the Reaper is back.
The Reaper's back, yeah.
I know he's had a few losses the last few fights, but now he's got his momentum back. I'm so happy that Robert Whittaker got that defeat, like that he won the fight. Honestly, he was well prepared, bro. Like he was ready to go. And you know, when he was walking out of the octagon, I know a few people like booing him and like cheering on him, but I was ready for him to be in that octagon, and I knew he was going to bring the game plan.
Like, no one expected that fight to turn out the way it did. You know, this is a Dagestani wrestler. These Dagestanis, man, like they either win or they go to the decision and win, man. Like they dominate, man. And for Whittaker to go in and dominate like that in the first round, man, he's coming into his second prime, and even on a foreign soil. That's not his home. That's not his backyard, man. This is not Australia. He knocked him out in the first round, bro.
In front of the whole fans, like the fans were shocked.
It's crazy. He dominated him. That uppercut was clean, man.
Oh, when I saw that, when he was just punching him, oh my god, and it just pushed him straight to the fence and went for that uppercut shot and knocked him out completely. So
this is really like the first time I've seen a Dagestani get knocked out. Like I can't really think of another time where they've even lost, man.
I know, because like Russians and Kazakhstans, like they're very tough fighters, man. They bring the A game into the octagon, you know. But an Aussie stopped that bloke.
Yeah.
Knocked him out completely.
It was crazy,
shattered him like from top to bottom.
But like, to be fair, like he had a fight, like he had a full camp. He didn't. Askelarov.
Yeah, Askelarov. Yeah.
So he didn't really. He came in short notice. So like benefit of the doubt there. But still, bro, Whittaker wasn't prepared. He was prepared for Chimaev.
Yeah.
So let's do that.
Yeah. He was ready for that challenge against Kazma Chimaev. But it just things happen in the octagon.
Yeah.
Look, we said about how Conor McGregor and Michael Chandler's fight called off.
Yeah.
And now you got Kazma was injured or something.
Yeah, he got food poisoning.
Food poisoning, that. So I don't know if you saw the Twitter from Rob Whittaker when he said to him, have a bit of the hot Milo and you'll be sweet, mate. Yeah.
I saw that.
Big shout out to Robert Whittaker, man.
Robert
Whittaker, man. Look, I'm so happy that he won the fight.
Yeah.
You know, he's very
just happy that he's back on the winning scene, man.
He's back in the 100%.
Because bro, like after that, what was it, the Duplessis fight? Everyone wrote him off, man. No one like to be fair, but it's weird how everyone wrote him off where he only lost in championship fights. So he dominated Paulo Costa. Following the defeat.
That's right.
Who was the one before Paulo Costa that he lost to?
I can't remember that one.
I think it was Duplessis.
I think it was Duplessis, yeah,
and then it was Costa.
It was Costa. Yeah.
So like he's finding his form again. He's coming into his prime again, man, which is great to see. You know, just him being our boy, bro, like an Aussie. Always gonna back the Aussies, man.
I always love Robert Whittaker, man. When he started from Ultimate Fighter, this bloke, it was the future of Australia, man.
And it's crazy. Like now we're talking about him in the title, like a title contender now. Like, I want to raise the question now. Strickland or Whittaker?
Look, this is a 50-50 debate thing.
As in, like, who goes... All right, so this is what I'm trying to say. Dricus Duplessis has the belt. He's set to face Adesanya at 305 in Perth. Yeah. Now, following this fight, who does Duplessis or Adesanya face? Strickland? Is Strickland first, or is it Robert Whittaker?
Look, it's a 50-50 decision. You know, Robert Whittaker, he wants his title back.
Yeah.
I know he lost against Drakus. I know that was a tough fight. Even with Strickland as well, Strickland wants that title back so bad because he's gunning for it and he's putting his heart and soul and like training hard for it to get that title back. I know it's going to be very hard. I don't know. I'm going to stick with the Aussie, man. Robert Whittaker, bro. Robert Whittaker needs that title. He's still young. He's still got a long way to go.
Yeah.
I think he deserves the title shot to get it back against Israel or Drakus Duplessis. We don't know. We'll have to find out when whoever wins that the title shot.
Yeah.
But Robert Whittaker, man, I think he will get it back. I think he will.
But like, do you put him over? Why would you say no to Sean Strickland? Why would you put Whittaker over
Because of the more experience, you know. Look, I know he's been losing like a couple of fights from the past, but now he's back on the winning momentum. But Strickland, because I know how he lost against, was it Drakus?
Yeah. And then he won against Costa.
Costa, that's right. But I can just see Rob Whittaker, man. Rob Whittaker, he needs it. Like, he wants it back.
I feel like Sean Strickland deserves it over Whittaker, to be honest, man.
Yeah.
Because considering the outcome of the first Duplessis fight and how a lot of fans were saying he got robbed and there wasn't a clear winner, you know, you run it back. 100%. So I'd with the star power of Strickland right now, you know, not to say no fan is back in Whittaker, man.
Yeah.
There's a whole fan base full of Whittaker fans, us included.
Yeah.
But I think Strickland has more star power and has more of a pull. If you were to set up the second fight between Duplessis and Strickland, you can even pull the same numbers with Whittaker and Duplessis too.
Exactly.
But I feel like just again, simply because of the outcome of the last fight, I reckon you run it back Strickland, Duplessis too, and we could be in for a good one.
Look, 100%. But with Robert Whittaker, he's all rounded too because he's got good striking, he's got good takedowns. And he's got good jiu-jitsu on the floor as well. So you have to understand about the skillful combination as well. I know Strickland, he'll come at you and he'll belt the crap out of you, you know.
Yeah.
But you have to understand about the experience.
Yeah.
The experience that comes more than the person that lost the previous fight, the title, you know.
Yeah.
But Robert Whittaker has that advantage. You know?
I get what you're saying.
So,
regardless, there'll both be some great fights to put on. But
maybe, sorry to cut you out, Bill, but I reckon if I was Dana White, I'd rather do the interim, like a number one contender.
Yeah.
That's what I reckon they should do. I reckon Sean Strickland versus Robert Whittaker.
They haven't fought, have they?
No, they haven't fought. They haven't fought.
What did I feel like they have? No, they haven't, eh?
No, they haven't.
So that'll be a great fight.
If Dana White will do that, I reckon that'll be a good fight. Strickland and Robert Whittaker. I think everyone will go rowdy around the whole stadium for sure.
Yeah. But what do you think, quickly before we get into UFC 303 predictions, UFC 305, I don't think we talked about it. We touched on it previously just a bit now. Adesanya and Duplessis. What do you think about that whole event? Do you agree with Adesanya being on that card?
Yeah, to be honest, man, like when I heard that announcement about Israel, like getting that title shot, I don't know. I don't think he deserves it, to be honest.
I feel like
there's a lot of people that want to go for that, especially Strickland and
especially with his time off out of the sport, man, to get him that title shot. I think he is number one contender still for that belt. So I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you had that layoff, like, you're not really an active fighter. You give it to the ones that are active. But just the whole thing about him being in Australia, in Perth, you know, fighting. You know, my thing is, man, like, he came out, I think it was an interview saying how the fans were backing Strickland in Australia. And I think it was basically talking rubbish about the fans. So to put him on a card in Perth, Australia is a bit nonsense to me, man. I don't agree with it. I don't know why they went with it. I would have loved to see Whittaker, you know, not fight in that fight night this week or last week. I would have loved to see him at 305.
305,
that would have put bigger numbers. Or you would have got Volkanovski back. But I don't know if he's set to come back yet.
Yeah, but that was a bit disrespectful, like how he's saying about like the crowd who was against him. And
last year. I don't know what the exact words were, but they weren't pleasant.
And that was on my birthday as well when I was there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I missed out that UFC, man. Like,
No,
I heard when he won the
go.
title, Strickland when he won the title. And you know, a lot of Sydney people, like, they're all going against, I mean, like, they're with Sean Strickland. And Sean Strickland, you know how he was going.
That's what I mean, that star power from Strickland, man.
Exactly.
He's a big name right now.
He is.
Him with Alex Periera too, which we'll get into right now. UFC 303. We're going to get into our predictions, just the main card. So the first fight, I don't know why this is the first fight on the main card. This really should have been maybe second to the co-main or maybe even the co-main. Ian Gary versus Michael Venom Page.
That's going to be a tough fight.
That's going to be a good fight.
That's going to be a good fight. Irish versus England bloke. So they're both from the Europe countries. So
you got one who's coming up, one who's already done it in other promotions, and trying to make a name for himself in the UFC. But who are you saying, man?
Well, look, Ian Gary's still undefeated, 14-0. So I think, he's got a lot of good skills on him. And even Michael Page as well, how he came from Bellator, man.
Yeah.
Bro, his experience, like, hit the roof, man, and became champion and all that. This is a 50-50 call. So I think Michael Page might just win it by unanimous decision.
With Michael Page's unorthodox style of fighting, he's not really your traditional fighter, man. He does things that no fighter does in the octagon. I think it will cause an issue for Ian Gary, but at the same time, Ian Gary is good at closing distance, using his jab. He's a very lanky man. He's got that distance in a way, but so is Michael Page, man. So that's why it's a great matchup. So I get it why you're saying it's a 50-50 fight, but I feel like Ian Gary takes it via unanimous decision.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough fight.
You think
I think it's gonna be Michael Page.
You think finish?
No, I think by all the way from round 1 to round 5.
Fair enough.
But we got the next fight, women's bantamweight. We got Mayra Bueno Silva versus
Bueno Silva versus Chasen.
Yeah, Macy Chasen.
This is the chick that fought
she was
UFC 293 Strickland Duplessis card. That was the boring fight.
Yeah, that
remember
was
that boring.
I remember. I watched that. It was so boring, man.
Yeah, they were fighting for the title, the women's bantamweight.
And then
title.
she lost as well. I think.
Yeah, she lost. So that was the fighter. I don't know if you remember. That was on her back the whole time, not even engaging in the fight. So but I think in this fight against Bueno, my bad, not Kieson. It was Bueno Silva. Bueno Silva was the one that wasn't engaging in the fight in a championship fight, man. Bro, I don't know why, but we touched on that before. But with this fight, I think Macy she's the bigger fighter. She's got a longer reach. She beats her on pretty much every single stat on the head-to-head.
Wow.
So look. What I think about this fight? Look, man, I'm gonna say Macy takes it.
You reckon?
I'm gonna say Macy takes it. I feel like Bueno Silva, I think she has 7 submission wins with 7 knockouts.
Yeah.
But Kieson, I just feel like I don't know why. I think she's the bigger fighter. She's got a bigger reach, the taller fighter. She weighs more. I reckon Macy takes it. Maybe via unanimous.
Yeah. Look, I know this is going to be a hard fight. And like how you said with Mayra Silva, like with that title fight that happened like a few months ago, that was so boring.
Yeah.
Honestly, that was the worst. Like I've never seen a boring fight just like that, and it reminded me from. You remember Rose Namajunas versus Carla Esparza years ago? Yeah. That was the worst fight, man. I think that was the most boringest fight in UFC history. I don't want to be rude or anything, but it's just if Mayra Silva comes back and bounce back and she focus and stay straight in the octagon, I think that will work. But I think Macy is going to win this fight. I'm sticking with Macy. I think round 1 TKO.
I feel like Bueno Silva needs to finish her early because, as I said, 7 submissions, 7 first round knockouts. Yeah. So if she's gonna win this fight, she's gotta finish her early. But I still feel Macy will win.
I think Macy will win it. Maybe unanimous or by TKO. Unanimous. I think TKO.
I reckon unanimous. But anyways, moving on, Anthony.
The next fight we got light heavyweight division. So we got Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze.
So Carlos Olberg pulled out of the fight. So that's another pulled out. So now he's got his replacement.
Short notice.
Yeah, I feel like Anthony Smith takes it simply because of his experience and
his high experience, man. He's so dangerous, that bloke.
But what are you saying? You're saying he finishes him?
Yeah, I think he will finish him. Maybe round 2 TKO.
Round 2 TKO. Yeah. I'm gonna say, I feel like there'll be a lot of unanimous decisions in this one, but I'm gonna say, I don't know, man. I'm gonna say unanimous. I feel like there will be. I reckon this is the type of card that there isn't going to be a lot of knockouts.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe the prelims will take all the knockouts.
Maybe, yeah.
But
the next co-main event, featherweight division, Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez.
I can't wait for this.
That's going to be a good fight. That one. I can't wait for Ortega, man. Ortega, he hasn't been fighting that much, but
Diego.
Yeah, I'm talking about Brian Ortega.
Yeah, he hasn't been as active.
The last time he was fighting was against Alex Volkanovski.
Nah, man.
Was it?
No. I think it was at a fight night.
It could be, probably like a few years back.
Bro. It was Rodriguez. So that you're talking February 25th, he faced Rodriguez.
From 6 months ago. A few months back. Yeah, sorry.
It wasn't, not that long ago, man. But, man, I think we touched on this last week. Diego Lopez, man, is that the younger fighter, closes his distance well, is that fiery fighter, isn't afraid to get into exchanges, great wrestling, great striking.
Yeah.
But with Brian Ortega, the experience alone is enough to win this fight. Yeah, man. If he wants to get back into the winning scene and beat a prospect in Diego Lopez, this is his
moment,
fight to do it. This will be like a Dustin Poirier defeating Benoit Saint Denis in that fight, where he really stopped the hype train. Yeah. So Brian Ortega could stop the hype train in Diego Lopez, but I feel like Diego Lopez wins this fight. This will greatly benefit his career.
Yeah,
beating an experienced veteran in Brian Ortega. I'm gonna say. Do I feel like it's going to be hard to knock out Brian Ortega, man.
Yeah, because he's a tough fighter, man.
If he gets him down, Brian Ortega wins the fight. Because he's especially with that triangle choke he has, the signature submission he has.
I've seen it.
So look, I'm going to say Diego Lopez wins up. I don't know why. Something tells me he knocks out Ortega.
You reckon?
I'm going to say round 2. I know I said he doesn't usually get knocked out. I'm going to say Lopez wins round 2.
I think, you know what? I think I'm going to stick with that as well.
Round
Lopez, round 2 TKO.
Now Lopez. To the main event.
Alex Periera versus Yuri Prochazka. Two.
The first fight, Periera knocked him out.
Yeah, that was
now this
that
is
was
short
so
notice.
Sick part, that one.
Short notice fight. Both have the same amount of layoff time.
Yeah.
So what are you saying?
I'm going to stick with Alex Periera, man. Alex Periera, he's so dominant, man. He's so dangerous. You can't mess with him. You can't touch this bloke. He's gonna knock you out or he's gonna put you to sleep. It's either one of those options. But after the Yuri that he got knocked out by Alex Periera, that was just unexpected for him. You know, it's unfortunate. You know, things happen. Do you think he'll probably win? I don't know. It's going to be a 50-50 call. But Alex Periera, bro, he's too dominant.
I want Periera to win badly. This guy is the face of the UFC, would you say?
I think he's the face of...
Right now,
he's the face of UFC
Charmer,
right now.
Charmer. Everyone's saying Charmer.
Yeah.
So this bloke you can say he's the face of the UFC.
100%.
But I don't know, man. I feel like Yuri's got his number this time.
You think so?
I feel like he's got him. I feel like...
We'll have to wait and see it till Sunday, man.
I feel like he will learn... He's learned on his mistakes. I feel like coming into this fight, again, both on a big same amount of layoff time, coming in short notice. So they're not going to be at their best. But in saying that, I'm going to say Yuri wins round 3. I don't know what it's going to be.
Maybe roundhouse kick.
I'm going to say he knocks him out. I don't know. There'll be a knockout in the main and there'll be a knockout in the co-main. I reckon Yuri gets him in round 3. I don't know why. It'd be hard to knock out Pereira, especially with his left hand. I feel like he's going to be cautious the whole fight, Yuri.
I know.
Especially not to fall in that trap with that left hand again.
Exactly, because Alex Pereira, bro, he'll knock you out with one punch.
That's what I'm saying, man. He just scraped Jamal Hill. So I feel like Yuri will knock him out round 3.
I'm going to stick with Alex Pereira, man. Alex Pereira's too dominant, man. He's too strong. He's too strong. He's going to retain the title. So
yeah. But don't forget, Yuri was a former champion.
No, I know he was.
So you can't write it. You can't write him off.
No, I know.
And he lost his championship because of injury. So they didn't really lose his championship.
I know. He's getting his title back.
So this is champion versus champion, bro. So I reckon Yuri wins.
I'm sticking with Alex Pereira. So,
but let's wrap up for Combat Talk for this week. Now moving on to some football talk.
That's astonishing.
All right, guys, time for some football talk. Let's go over the Group A and Group B reviews. The Euros group stage is almost done, and the knockout stages are around the corner.
So let's look at the Group A for a bit. Germany first with 7 points, Switzerland in second with 5 points, Hungary in third with 3, and Scotland with 1. Now let's talk about Germany quickly. Outstanding so far tournament for them. First 2 games were outstanding, deserved that win. Switzerland, you would say they probably didn't deserve anything out of that game. Wasn't the best performance. But
no, not Switzerland did play good.
I said Germany.
Oh, Germany. Oh,
yeah,
I was gonna say.
So you look at it, Germany probably had their minds ready for the knockout rounds.
Stages.
The game was the group was already sealed. They had already qualified. So maybe that's the reason why they weren't performing to what we've seen in the last 2 games. Switzerland, I think they've had a decent tournament so far. They haven't lost a game, 2 draws and a win. You look at their first game against Hungary. It was a very good performance. Scotland was a big task. Scotland did put them in a few dangerous situations, but Germany, I think it's a performance they should be proud of.
Yeah, look, Germany were always favourites to top the group. If we had finished second, we would have got Italy in the knockout stages, which wouldn't be bad, but wouldn't be the best draw, because Italy, we know they got a last-minute equaliser against Croatia. They have that in them. Their gutsy performance. They scrape. They can scrape a win or pull it into extra time. So I'm happy we got first. It's so important we got first. Now we verse second place of either England, Serbia.
No, it's either England,
Denmark,
Slovenia.
It's really basically anyone.
Anyone in
because
that
group
C.
is very close.
Yeah.
So we've put ourselves in a good position because I think in those group they're all beatable. And Germany have put themselves in a very good position. Musiala playing perfectly, skipping around players, dribbling past players. He's the man to watch. And I think if Germany were to go all the way, he's the reason why they do. And it's good signs for Germany. I think you look at now how the group stage has evolved. You know who's going to go far. Germany, Portugal, Spain, and France. France haven't been the best, but I still think you'd put them up there to be favourites still.
Yeah, you would.
But
of
those
course.
4 teams have been the best.
Now
so
you
far.
look at Hungary, they're in third place with a points differential of -3. So it isn't looking good for them with that sort of goal differential. But they've pretty upset me this tournament. I thought they would be better. I think again they're always an underdog. We've seen what they've shown us in UEFA Nations League and even making the Euros previously. Lots of big defeats, shock defeats actually against the bigger nations. But yeah, they're the team that really didn't perform, and we all expected more from them.
They can still make it. 3 points. 3 points usually can be enough to get you in, squeeze you in. Their -3, again, as you said, is going to let them down. But I still think, I don't know, something's telling me that this team might just edge them, might just squeeze
you reckon
for
they'll
some
go
reason.
through?
I think they might go in 4th place in the 3rd teams, and they'll squeeze in. So we've got to keep an eye on it.
I don't think so, because you look at the rest of the ladder, everyone in 3rd place, their points differential is lower than them. I know they still got games to play. I think they're out. I don't think they'll make it.
Look, there's a big chance they're out. But again, I would actually like to see Hungary go through. But again, we'll just see what happens.
Now let's look at Group B. In first was Spain with 9 points. Italy in second with 4 points. Croatia in third with 2 points. Albania in 4th with 1 point.
Yeah.
Now you look at Spain there again. They're on the level of Germany right now. Solid tournament so far. They've got 3 wins out of 3. A point goal differential of 5. They've been outstanding this year. Defending well, scoring goals. They've been really impressive this year.
Yeah, and
it reminds me of the old Spain. Previous years, they haven't been the best. You look at the last World Cup, they got knocked out early. 2018, same thing. They got knocked out in the penalties in round 16 or quarterfinals. So they've taken a big dip. You look at Italy now, where, yes, they won the Euros a couple years ago in 2020. 4 years ago. Ever since then, they haven't really been the same Italy. So Spain are returning back, but Italy still, you can see they're lacking something in their team.
Italy don't look good at all. They scraped a draw against against Croatia, sorry. Croatia would have went through, and Italy, I think, still would have had a good chance to go through even if they're 3rd, but that's a massive blow to Croatia. They've been up there, semi-finals, 2018 World Cup final. They've been a good, solid team, but I think it's starting to go away. Those more experienced players is about to leave, Modric being one of them. And yeah, Italy, yes, they came 2nd. Croatia are 3rd, but they've got 2 points.
Who, Croatia? Yeah.
Yeah, so
Croatia.
that means they're officially out.
Albania did do good.
Look, they put a good fight against Spain, against Italy. They put a good fight against everyone. So you can't really blame them. They did the best they could. They put, their heart into the games. And that's all you could ask for nations like Albania. And I feel Italy, if they're going to go far, it's going to be a scrappy one. They're going to go win on penalties or a late winner. That's the only way I see Italy going through.
Because Albania, you look at it, in that group stage, they probably deserve to go through because their performances were, again, they don't have the best squad, but they were competing with the 3 biggest team. It's called the group of death, technically. That was the hardest group. And they scored an early goal against Italy in literally like 30, 40 seconds. And then they scored another 10 minutes
Spain
in against Croatia. Yeah, exactly. So they really put a good fight. And if they had made it through, that would have been another probably... You look at Morocco back in the World Cup in 2022, that could have been another situation. Yeah. Similar situation where they're the underdogs because they really did perform.
And also it takes me back to the 2022 World Cup where at one stage Spain and Germany were going out and it was Japan and Costa Rica going in. So it looks like we're going to just see the dominant teams going through this year. Especially in the top 2 spaces because usually there's always an underdog, but I feel we haven't been given an underdog this year. If you know what I mean, it's been like England top in the group. It's the same teams and the teams that everyone would be expecting to make it.
And even the Euros, you look at it, there hasn't been really any big goals. Like Shaqiri was one. That was an outstanding goal. You had a few here and there last-minute goals, but you look at previous years, I was watching highlights, there was a lot of cracker goals. But maybe there's still knockout rounds. Maybe we'll see the big goals, the big dramas in that round. Now, let's talk about that incident last week against Netherlands and France. They had a call where a few controversial debates around it. It was a controversial call made by the referee when Netherlands had scored. However, I think it was Memphis Depay where he was interfering and was standing in an offside position, and that ruled out the goal.
Yeah, so
for me, that was a goal.
Look, with me, I think it was a goal. Now, with the rule, of course, if you're offside when a goal is scored, it's a goal. But for me, you got to also take into account if you're obstructing the goalkeeper. First of all, the goalkeeper didn't dive at all, so he wasn't blocking him whatsoever. Yes, he's in an offside position, but he's not even in front of the keeper.
Yeah.
The keeper's here. The person shooting's there and the player's right near him. So he can see clearly where the ball's coming and who's shooting it. So I think it was Depay who was offside. It was one of the Netherlands players.
One of them.
They were not interfering at play at all. And as I said, the goalkeeper didn't even dive. So he had given up already. The goal was in the net. So I understand the frustration coming from the Netherlands fan and even Ronaldo Koeman, the coach for Netherlands. It's a goal any day of the week. And that's where, I understand why they gave it a no-goal because, of course, he's in offside position. But you got to take into account he didn't interfere, as I said, and he wasn't blocking the goalkeeper's view. So, yeah.
100%. You said what I was going to say. But let's talk about Ronaldo now. He hasn't had the best Euros. He got an assist. I'm pretty sure. No.
He got an assist.
Yeah. It was
for Bruno.
The second game. But it hasn't been the most impressive performances in the Euro circle for Ronaldo. We've seen him in many competitions in the Euros and World Cup where he's the standout and he's scoring goals. Still looking for that goal this year in the Euros. But can he still perform on the biggest stage? Are we seeing that Ronaldo's time is coming to an end?
No, I think he still has so much to offer. 39, it's been 2 games. And I know it's a short tournament, so 2 games is like 25 games. To be honest, I honestly feel their next game, I think it's against Georgia. I think he's getting his hat-trick. I honestly feel Ronaldo. I know there's one thing about Ronaldo, when everyone's against him, all the comments are going at him, the news letters, just everything, the media. When they're on him, he'll score so many goals. I think he's going to get a hat-trick.
Georgia have been, again, a pretty decent side. They haven't been... People predicted them to get smashed in every single game, especially coming up against Belgium, coming up against Portugal. It's a pretty hard group for them. But you look at Ronaldo, I still think we have to see how he goes in the knockout rounds. It's only 3 games they played, and it's where the knockout rounds are, round 16, quarterfinals, semifinals, finals. That's where it matters. And if he can really show what he is capable of doing and that his time's not done and he's still got a long way to go in his career still. He's 40. He might have another 4 years left. So this is where moments are made, and this is where we're going to see if Ronaldo still has it. If he can guide him to a final, win him the final, that just shows what Ronaldo is and what he's achieved over the last... since he's first started his professional career, he still has what it takes to guide Portugal to
even just guiding him to a final would be enough to show he's got it.
But he needs to contribute.
This way. It's surprising that he hasn't even scored a goal yet, because to Ronaldo's caliber and the player he is, you'd expect him to at least have a goal in those 2 games. But again, I'm feeling confident for him. I think he's going to have a massive game against Georgia, and mark my word, he will score a hat-trick. I actually feel he's going to score a hat-trick. I don't know why. Something's telling me Ronaldo gets a hat-trick.
I feel Portugal haven't really been linking up with Ronaldo a lot in this Euros. There was one chance he had where he should have scored. But if I'm looking overall performances, I was watching the first game when they scored that last-minute goal. Ronaldo didn't have a lot of chances, and you could blame the midfield of Fernandes, Bernardo Silva on the wing, not really offering him any chances or any shots or through balls. So sometimes the players behind Ronaldo have to take blame, because the midfielders are the providers, and they have to provide their striker, feed them so they can finish the play. Because a striker, you can't rely on them too much to do everything. They need to receive the ball.
And especially with Ronaldo's age, he's expecting the ball. He's not going to really work for it anymore. Like, he still works hard. He works hard, but I'm saying in a way he's not going to use all his skills the way he was quick and fast before.
Normally all his goals is inside the box.
His style of play has changed now, and that's what they got to adapt to. Even before the year started, all the pundits and everyone say, does Ronaldo affect the way Portugal play? Personally, for me, I think that's nonsense because you look at him before the Euros, he was scoring so many goals, became the most goals scored by, I think, either for Portugal or an international player. He's up there. Yeah, he's scored so many goals. He knows what it takes. So this pressure is normal to him. He knows he's got to live up to the standards of, first of all, being a Portugal player, being the best player in the world. He knows what he's got to do. And as I said again, he will score hat-trick, but I'll say minimum 2 goals against Georgia.
And I know this is not related to Euros, but again, he's talking about El Nassr. I don't think this is his last club. I think there's going to be one more big move to prove everyone that he's the greatest of all time. Again, it's between him or Messi, but I think he needs one more big move, especially how things ended at United. Yeah. People really doubted him and said, this just shows Ronaldo isn't good. Of course, we've seen what's happened at United and what Ronaldo did say was true. So people start to question maybe it wasn't Ronaldo after all. But I don't know what club he'll join, but there is going to be a big move soon. I feel personally just to show that he can still win those big major trophies.
Look, I don't feel a big move. I feel a big moment. And when I say moment, again, it's the likes of winning the Euros, winning the World Cup. That is what's going to make him the best player in the world. And I think he's a Euro away or a World Cup away from really, and most importantly, I think he's a World Cup away from being, the best player in the world. So,
anyways, quickly, before we wrap up football talk, who is currently the favorite, your favorite to win the Euros, if you were to choose 3 teams?
Well, I've mentioned 4. I'll put them in order. I'll say Germany first, I think because of their home advantage. I'll go Germany first. Right, look, I predicted Portugal to win it. So I'd put Germany first right now in form. I'm going to Portugal second. Of course, it's only right because I've predicted them. Spain third, and I'll go France fourth.
Yeah, I would say Germany first. I think, again, we've seen how good they've been this Euros, especially at their home nation. So we'll go for Germany first. I think second, you have to say, I would say France, just because of the elite players that have, world-class players, and making it finals after final in the World Cup. So you can't say no to France. So I think they're second favourite. In third, I'm going to go Portugal just because of Ronaldo, and he really needs to win this big trophy after Messi winning the World Cup. And in fourth, we'll go Spain. I would have put England if I saw better performances from them in the Euros. But they've been dreadful. I think they've been the worst team in the competition so far. It's been really that bad that they deserve to what be that low.
Their standards are, the players they have, they should be doing better. And England will make an early exit out of the Euros. That's all I can tell you. But yeah, that's a wrap up to football talk. And we'll wrap up the podcast with the boys.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap up episode 81 of the Touchline Podcast. If you're new here, please smash the like button, comment down below in the comment section, and subscribe to our channel and follow our socials. And we'll see you guys next week.
Just stopped.